So this is how we set up the background system. You need a couple different pieces. You have two supports for both sides of the background. You need to have two clamps. Both clamps are used to make sure that the paper doesn't unroll. You also need a roll of paper, lots of beautiful colors, and you also need the bar that holds up the paper. So the first step is to position the background where you want it with about the correct width. So if you have a really wide background paper, you put them further apart, and if you have a short background paper, you put it about this far apart. And you can even just use the paper as a guide to see how far apart you need it. You need it about the same width, plus just a little bit for the clamps. The next thing you want to do is position the paper so that it rolls down like that. So the way I have it here is a good way. So it's kind of like that. So next step is to put the pole all the way through, and we'll also just need to extend the pole just a little bit. Like this. Great, so don't pull that side there, please. Now with this particular system, we have two different systems. This one here, there's just a pin, and it rests on top, and we'll slip that up and rest that on top of the system right there. The other one's very similar. The other one has a lock as well. So now we take the pin, or the clip. There's two parts. There's a part with metal and a part with rubber. You always want the rubber touching the metal so it grips. If you have the metal touching the metal, it's just going to scrape and it's not going to hold very tightly. So just be careful that you have the rubber part touching the metal part. So the next step is to take off a bit of paper, and you kind of have to guess how much to take off. You actually can have this paper touching the ground, and you can step on the paper if you're doing a full-length shot. But if you're not planning to do a full-length shot, save the paper because it tends to wear out. So let's actually take off some paper. So Krishna, do you want to come around the back and just hold the paper lightly so it doesn't all unroll at the same time? That's probably enough paper, so we're just going to let it fall to the ground. Okay, Krishna, do you want to come around to this side here, please? Maybe we'll take off a little bit more. I think that's right about it. Okay, so we're going to come around here, please. So the next step is to clamp the clip. Now, there's also a part that has a metal piece. It's helpful to turn the metal piece outward because then it doesn't get in the way. If you're trying to clip like this, sometimes it can get in the way. So flip it around. All right. So let's try the next one. So we've got this piece here. So this is the incorrect way. It's the correct way. There we go. So far, so good. Okay, so the next step, it's a three-person job. All right, do you want to come around this side, please? Awesome. And can you actually stand right there? If you have a long piece of paper, the paper tends to roll out a lot. So if you have one person standing with their feet right there, where I'm pointing, the feet actually do all the work, and it prevents the paper from rolling out too much. Okay, so Ahmed, you ready for the next step? We have little pins here, and with this front pin, it's a turning thing. You can only turn it 3 times in any direction because the pieces will fall off and they'll bounce along the floor and you'll lose an important piece. So let's start with the top section. So please put one hand on the top section and do lefty-loosey for 3 turns and lift it up. Go up at the same pace. There we go. And let's lock it there. That's pretty good for now. So we'll go right, tight, tighten it. So far, so good. And put your hand on the next section here, please. And then 3 turns to the left. And all the way up. Perfect. All right, a little more, a little more, a little more. And lock it there, please, Ahmed. Okay. So Ahmed, you're good there. So if you're locked, you can let go of everything. Krishna, can you stand a little bit over there? And go right here, please. And just stand further away. Now, what Krishna's going to do right now is see if this thing is totally flat. And Krishna, do you want to tell me my side needs to go up or down to make this totally flat? Down, okay. Just say when. Up, okay. It's hard to tell when you're standing here. Is that right? Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we lock it there. And the final step is just to sort out the paper. And there we go. Background set up. There we go. Background set up. There we go.